Cesc Fabregas's Como want Liam Delap. What? Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And, wow, man, first things first, apologise for the vest. It is an oven in my office, and I just can't do it, man. It's literally any opportunity to cool down at the moment I'm taking. But, mate, let's get into it today, man. We've got Liam Delap to Como. We're going to cover Benoit Badiashile to Napoli. I've been on Enzo watch, right? I've been on Enzo watch, and I've been furiously refreshing my phone all day, waiting for the Enzo news, and I was going to bundle everything together, but this has just dropped, so I'm like, right, okay, cool. Let's get this out, and then we'll do the Enzo stuff later. So yeah, Liam Delap wanted by Como. We have got some unpacking to do with that one. Benoit Badiashile, we've got the here we go to Napoli. Josh Acheampong could be on his way to Coventry to study under Frank Lampard for a season, and there is some little updates about Enzo Fernandez in the press conference that Enzo Maresca did today for their final preseason game, and what he said versus how he looked seems to be the debate that's going on here. Fabrizio Romano posted this exclusive: Como have made initial approach for Liam Delap as new striker. He's high on the shortlist for new forward, as relationship with Chelsea is very good after Chalobah deal. Delap can leave CFC in the final 2 weeks. So look, the Chalobah deal took ages, weeks, like over a month. Do you know what I mean? Like well over a month for Chalobah to Como. So are they going to negotiate that much faster for Liam Delap? And what it doesn't say here either is whether it's a permanent or a loan. And I'm not going to lie to you, you'd have to assume it's a loan, wouldn't you? You'd have to assume it's a loan, because we've just announced yesterday that we want 50 mil for Liam Delap. Como were arguing about what essentially amounts to pennies, but, you know, a few mil here or there for the Trevor Chalobah deal, which took a really, really long time to get over the line. So are they now just going to slap down 50 mil for Liam Delap? Like, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. That's absolutely wild. This news is nuts, mate. Absolutely nuts. And I do just think it's really weird from the profile as well, because, well, I don't know, like, Fabregas is also like a possession-based kind of manager. And we've seen that Liam Delap is not flourishing in that kind of system, right? So look, whatever. Look, you know, this isn't me like, you know, I don't want to curse it, and I don't want to scare him away off it. Do you know what I mean? If you want Liam Delap, come and take him. But for me, we'll see, I'm sure, very shortly what happens in terms of the type of deal that it is. But I can only assume it's a loan. Surely it's a loan. I can't see, and just purely based on the precedent that they are, you know, we spent so long negotiating with them about Trevor Chalobah because we wanted 35 mil for Chalobah, who, look, let's be honest, different positions, yes. Is Chalobah a better centre-back than Liam Delap is a striker? Yes. Anyone's got an argument against that in my comment section, get it in there, man, but that is absolutely wild. Liam Delap to Como. I mean, yeah, just get him out, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I am shocked. I just thought it was nailed on. It was going to be a Premier League club. The likes of Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Everton, all been talking about Liam Delap for a little while, and Como have just come out. So good relationship with Chelsea. Like, has this conversation been going on for a while, and maybe that's why the Trevor Chalobah deal took so long? Because look, Chelsea have been doing secretive stealth business during this window in general, right? You know, the Morgan Rogers thing came out of absolutely nowhere. I still think that they, you know, look at the Crystal Palace stuff. Like, you've got Badadik Bali going over to talk to Steve Parish. You know, and I don't think that was just for the Maxence Lacroix deal. There's still talks about what we're doing with Disasi. Adam Wharton is probably the guy that we're going to go and get if we do sell Enzo Fernandez later today, hopefully. So look, maybe, and you know, obviously with Aston Villa as well, with Morgan Rogers, there was the talks about Alejandro Garnacho that went on the same time. There's still the stuff going on with Nicholas Jackson, and they still want to bring him over there as well. So maybe this is the reason that the Chalobah deal was, you know, it wasn't just about Trevor Chalobah. Maybe Liam Delap has been part of this plan all along as well. And potentially that's why they were trying to argue down the amount of money that we were going to get for Trevor Chalobah, because they also knew they were going to come out and spend 50 big ones on the medieval farmer. The medieval farmer is what you guys have been calling him in my comments. I love it, man. It's funny. Mate. So guys, like this is straight pure reaction. Do you know what I mean? I've literally just seen this and jumped on camera in front of my lights, and it's sweaty and hot and ridiculous. I'm getting spots and all sorts. It's an absolute nightmare. But I'm here to talk about it, and more than that, I want to know what you think about this, guys. Liam Delap to Como. Delap can leave in the final 2 weeks. Like, does this mean that it's going to be another long negotiation? Does it mean that it's just going to happen really quickly? Does it mean that it doesn't happen at all? I guess at the end of the day, if Everton or a Newcastle or someone else comes in with the bid for Liam Delap, maybe this is one of them as well. Maybe this is like, you know, we're having the conversation with Como, but at the same time, we're trying to signal to other clubs like, you know, the likes of Nottingham Forest, Everton and Newcastle will all be linked with him. We're going to sell him. So if you want him, come and get him. Here's the amount of money we want. Like, it is interesting that in the last 2 days, we've said that Liam Delap's worth 50 mil. But at the same, and then the very next day, Como have come out for him, and I'm just like, mate, I do not see Como paying 50 mil for Liam Delap. Well, because that's nearly 60 million euros as well. Do you know what I mean? That's crazy stuff, absolutely crazy stuff. Is that not a million miles away from what they paid for Nico Paz as well, who looks really good, by the way? Do you know what I mean? From Real Madrid. So, you know, Como, albeit they're in the Champions League, they're doing really well. The signings that they've made look quite, you know, pointed and, you know, whatever so far. And it's just like, maybe Cesc Fabregas sees something in Liam Delap, man. Maybe he sees something that the rest of us don't see, that the rest of us are missing. Maybe they like his bullishness. Maybe they want an astute penalty taker because he scored 2 penalties the other day and a lot of people are arguing he got a hat-trick. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Liam Delap to Como. This window, man, this window, what's even going on anymore? And guys, if you've made it this far into today's episode of the Stamford Sync, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. And you've got your pick of things today. You've got the spots, you've got the goofy teeth that some of you like to pick at in general, you've got the vest, the fact that I'm actually kind of pasty because I always wear t-shirts and my shoulders, you know, roast away, do it, man. I've heard it all before, bring it on. Right, so let's talk about some other stuff that's been going on, because like I say, I was kind of waiting to see if there was something going on with Enzo Fernandez and I was going to bulk it all together, but Liam Delap to Como potentially is happening, so let's talk about all the other stuff at the same time, starting with Benoit Badiashile. Fabrizio Romano posted this yesterday. Napoli agree deal to sign Benoit Badiashile from Chelsea. Here we go. Club-to-club verbal agreement done. €3 million loan fee, 1 million add-ons and 27 million buy option clause. Salary also covered. New centre-back is coming for Massimiliano Allegri. So, first, I think the most important thing here is the fact that it is a buy option clause, not an obligation. So this is not the same as the Alejandro Garnacho deal, whereas like if you meet these criteria, you have to buy him. But and if anything, I've got a feeling that unless he absolutely smashes it at Napoli, we'll probably end up with him back at the end of next season, because that basically what that 3 mil loan, 1 million add-ons. We're looking in and around £30 million, close to £29 million probably with all the add-ons and the loan fee, including the 27 million fee, the buy option clauses. But I'm not going to lie to you, I get the distinct feeling because it's an option and it's an Italian club, they're probably, and like I say, unless he becomes like cornerstone of the team and his value is evidently worth more than that 27 million to them, and they would have to pay more than that to get someone better than him by the end of next season, I think we'll probably end up with him back. And look, he's young at the end of the day. I say young, he's like 23, 24, do you know what I mean? It seems weird because we've had him for so long, but we bought him when he was 20, so he's not even entering his prime years as of yet. So I'm less concerned about this than I am with Axel Disasi, for instance. And also, Benoit Badiashile does have qualities that I think will probably suit the Italian league quite well, like a really tidy passer, not the most aggressive defender, maybe not built for the Premier League, not very good recovery pace and stuff like that, but in the Italian league, maybe actually this suits him really well. So hopefully, Benoit Badiashile has a fantastic time under Allegri at Napoli, who have in recent memory won the Scudetto, Champions League club as well, I assume. So Benoit Badiashile gets his move to a Champions League team. If he performs reasonably well next season and it seems like a good deal for them, we'll end up with that in and around £30 million for Benoit Badiashile, which is a good deal. So guys, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Next up, another centre-back. We're going to talk about Josh Acheampong. Chelsea Dodgers posted this via Alex Crook. Keep an eye on Josh Acheampong. He's someone Frank Lampard would like to take to Coventry. So, it feels like Frank Lampard has to take his cursory Chelsea player on loan because of the connection with the club. I know, we haven't seen it like a million times. Did he take anyone at Everton? I can't remember actually, but obviously he took Mason Mount. when he was at Derby and, made it so he was allowed to play against us in the FA Cup and stuff, which also, that doesn't normally happen. You're not allowed to play against your parent club, but he got Chelsea to do it. Frank Lampard obviously got massive connections to Chelsea as a player, as a manager, do you know what I mean? And there's obviously still some connection there. So Josh Acheampong to Coventry, I rate it. Honestly, I rate a player. Any one player from Chelsea that goes to Coventry, you feel like they're going to get the time and the attention. The thing is, we've had some really bad loan deals before. Like, for instance, when we sent Andre Santos to Nottingham Forest, barely got a look in. Do you know what I mean? So the worry with loan deals is if the manager isn't a huge fan, or the club haven't bought the player, so there feels like less need to invest and they're more of just a squad player, it can be are they going to get used enough? Are they going to get enough opportunities? Crystal Palace, for instance, always been really good. When we send players to Crystal Palace, they always get loads of game time. You would have thought Josh Acheampong to Coventry, he'd get lots of game time. Now, is it a good idea to loan Josh Acheampong out? For him, yes, I think so, to be completely honest. I think if you're starting to look at our centre-back situation now, Levi Colwill, Maxence Lacroix, they're going to be the two undisputed starters for the most part, as long as everyone stays fit. Not Trevor Chalobah, sorry. Wesley Fofana has now kind of been demoted to a backup, and at the moment there is still Tosin Adarabioyo, who might also be on his way out, though, to be honest. There's Mamadou Sarr and Ansel Mino, who they're looking actively for loan moves for. So the thing is, this at the moment would indicate to me that we probably will go in for another centre-back, and we have been linked, with cursory little stories about other centre-backs to Scalvini. There's obviously Jacobo Ramon, which is maybe that's an interesting thing. Maybe that's got something to do with the Liam Delap deal. Maybe that greases the wheels for Ramon to come our way as well. But he's just another young centre-back, and do you know what I mean? It's we've got Josh Acheampong already. But if I'm completely honest, for Josh Acheampong, I think alone, I spoke about this. The new episode of the Talking Chelsea podcast is out today. We did our kind of pre-season rankings, and there was a special guest in the hot take, so go and check that one out if you haven't already. But yeah, I kind of said on that it's actually not unprecedented, but it's quite unusual for academy players to get into the Chelsea first team without first going on a loan. The most recent example of which being Levi Colwill, but Reece James got his loan to Wigan. Mason Mount obviously went to Derby and Vitesse Arnhem. Even Tammy Abraham, Aston Villa, do you know what I mean? It's I'm not sure about Victor Mori actually. But at the same time, Victor Mori was Derby as well, wasn't he? That was it. Yeah, there you go. So look, a lot of these academy players that have got into our first team over the last few years have done it off the back of successful loans. Like Levi Colwill, for me, being the prime example of why it's a good idea. Levi Colwill came back a Premier League defender, and Josh Acheampong, at the moment, it still feels like he's got the potential to be that, but is he... as soon as Levi Colwill came back, it was we all wanted to see him in the team. I think at the moment, if you were to say, if we didn't have Maxence Lacroix and we were going into the season and Josh Acheampong was the choice, I think we'd be excited to see him develop, but also maybe a little bit concerned about whether he was the level. But for me, if he goes out and gets a Premier League loan, I think that kind of does the business. Do you know what I mean? Personally, for me, that kind of does the business. So the other side of it is, if Josh Acheampong stays and doesn't get minutes, then he'll probably agitate for a move away. We'll make 30 mil on him, or depending how crazy the market gets, maybe 50 or something like that. But at the same time, I don't want to see him go. I want to watch him develop. And like I say, for me, it feels like the obvious thing to do to secure his development and give him an even better chance of getting into the first team next season. Send him out on a loan. Frank Lampard's going to take special care of him and give him a lot of game time. Do you know what I mean? So, guys, let me know what you think. Josh Acheampong to Coventry. If look, for any loan kind of works for me. Crystal Palace have been talking about Josh Acheampong for a little while as well, but obviously if we're going to loan the Maxwell Disasi, it gets a little bit complicated. Acheampong to Coventry seems to make sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should we loan him out? Should we keep him? What do you think is the best for the young centre-back's future? And now we're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez, right? We're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez. It's coming. I will keep furiously checking Twitter throughout the recording of this video to see if anything drops. Enzo Maresca has done a press conference leading up to Man City's last pre-season game. Interestingly enough, Chelsea not doing one, and it's not obligatory to do one, and we've opted out of the press conference for the Real Sociedad game tomorrow, which is interesting in itself. But Enzo Maresca has done one today, and he was asked a few questions. So Chelsea Dodgers posted this via Sam Lee. Enzo Maresca asked about the 5 p.m. Enzo Fernandez deadline and whether City will do any business today. And he said, not today, to be honest. I don't think we're going to do something today. Now, just reading that sounds like normal football speak, and maybe they're not going to do anything, or there's not much heart or emotion in it. But then it was followed up with this picture, which is his face while delivering that line. And Chelsea Dodgers, I loved it. Chelsea Dodgers is a genius, man. It's brilliant. Chelsea Dodgers said the smirk on his face after he said this. And I think we've seen something like this from Enzo Maresca before. And you know, it's really weird because I can't remember the specific situation, but I remember that grin, that specific grin that at the time I was probably quite happy with, but now I hate it. Do you know what I mean? Because football is football, and albeit I try not to be, sometimes I'm a little bit tribal. But at the same time, it's like, that is the face of a man who is saying one thing and has something else going on in his head. Like, Enzo Maresca, one thing, you know, I'll give him, I don't even know if it's a compliment, but he was good at straight talking. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't the most particularly emotional man until he comes out with his Everton thing. Do you know what I mean? But in all of the press conferences and, you know, post-match kind of interviews and stuff like that, like, he was quite direct and not necessarily emotional and, you know, kind of straight-faced and a bit of a poker face, do you know what I mean? But that's not a poker face, is it? That's the face that says, oh no, I don't think we're going to do anything today, but actually I know something's going on. So look, I've been maintaining this, and look, it's 1 o'clock on the dot right now as I'm recording this. In the next 4 hours, I could be eating my words and Enzo Fernandez could be a Chelsea player next season, but I genuinely think it's going to happen, man. I do think it's going to happen. The last thing, just more props to Chelsea Dodgers, man. I love how he's calling out Maresca. So Maresca was asked about Enzo Fernandez, and one of the other answers he gave was this. He said, in this moment, I have to give you the same answer since day one, which will always be the same. He is a player from another club, and I don't think it's correct to talk about other players. And he was like, I'm not going to say anything. So before we get into Chelsea Dodgers' hilarious response, the first thing about that is it literally, he's basically telling you that he wouldn't tell you even if he knew, or, you know, if he does know, he's not saying anything, because he says, in this moment, I have to give you the same answer since day one, which will always be the same. And look, this is the thing, isn't it? Reporters ask pointed questions, and managers and players, they have pre-recorded answers that they regurgitate and spurt out, because Enzo Maresca absolutely can't come out and say something might happen, because if there's the smallest chance that they bid 119 mil and we say no, or 119 mil 99999 minus £1, you know, harkening back to the Luis Suarez bid, and we say no, he can't come out and say we're going to try and we're making something happen today. He can't give any indication, can he? So already Enzo Maresca has again, to be fair to him, he's told you that he's lying essentially, or he's told you that he would lie if there was information to tell you, because he's basically saying, I have to give you a media trained answer, and the media trained answer is, I can't talk about other players. So, now that's my actual assertion of what he said, but Chelsea Dodgers said, if you've read it at the top already, Mr. Maresca is big on ethics now, I see. Shame he didn't apply those principles when he was the Chelsea manager. I just thought that was jokes, man. I just thought that was jokes. Like, fair play. Chelsea Dodgers calling out Enzo Maresca in all of this stuff. But yeah, man, like, you know, with those kind of three bits all together, Enzo Maresca is not going to come out and say, yes, I love Enzo Fernandez. He's a phenomenal player. This is where I see him fitting into my life. It's just not going to happen, is it? It's never happened before. It's never going to happen. And Enzo Maresca has literally basically come out himself and said, I'm going to give you a media trained answer. This is the game. This is what we do. So, guys, let me know what you think about it. Like, maybe it's a little tinfoil hat moment, but I think genuinely, and like I say, I will eat my words on camera if this doesn't happen, but I genuinely believe that it will. I think that they will, and maybe it's a 110 plus 10 or something. I think the deal might be structured very slightly differently rather than them just slamming down 120 million euros. Maybe it's one of them where it's like it's 110 plus 11 million in add-ons, so we actually get like a little bit more, something stupid like that just to make the deal go through. Maresca wants him. Fernandez wants to leave Chelsea, I think, and although all the PR has been coming out saying Fernandez will be happy to stay at Chelsea, of course he's going to say that, because if he ends up staying at Chelsea, he can't have come out and said, I really want to leave. But I think all of the actions from Fernandez and Javier Pastore throughout, not even just a window, like since the last international break, have been truly indicative of his desire to leave the club one way or another. But either way, Enzo Fernandez to Man City in the next 4 hours. I see it happening. So look, keep it locked, guys, because I will be releasing another video today, post 5 p.m. or when the news drops. I hope it's not too soon, because YouTube doesn't like it when you release videos too close together. But I'm going to start wrapping the video up there. Let me know what you think about everything that we've talked about today, starting with Liam Delap to Como. Absolutely wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. loan. I can only see that being a loan, and maybe, like I say, maybe it's something to try and push some of the Premier League clubs to start coming in with some money, because it does all seem to have happened quite quickly. We all of a sudden out of the blue want 50 mil for Liam Delap. Liam Delap is linked to Como. Maybe we're trying to force something to happen. I don't know. Benoit Badiashile is a here we go to Napoli, but with only an option to buy rather than an obligation. So chances are we might see him back at the club next season. Josh Acheampong to Coventry. I ship it, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I ship it. I would like to see a Chelsea player go to Frank Lampard just for the vibes and the feeling. And maybe it's one of them as well. Like, when they play us, maybe he allows Josh Acheampong to play. And, you know, because there's a precedent for that. We've seen it before. And Enzo Maresca watch is counting down. It's probably going to take me 45 minutes or an hour to edit and get this video out, so it'll probably be somewhere in and around 2 o'clock by the time this video comes out, so that'll leave us with about 3 hours until the Enzo deadline is over. Do you think it's going to happen? If it's already happened by the time this video comes out, I'm going to be furious. Do you know what, actually, just before I'm going to do it, I'm going to check right now just to make sure it hasn't already happened while I've been recording. And no, the most recent fab post is still Liam Delap to Como. So as of right now, I'm cool. If something happens while I'm editing, I'll squeeze something in. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it takes a little while, because YouTube doesn't like it when you release videos too close together. But I am waffling. Nice one, guys. I hope you're all having an absolutely wicked day, and I'll catch up with you very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.